All right. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. Thank you so much for being here. You are all perfect, exactly where you are in this now moment on this solar eclipse beautiful day. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing going to be wrong with you, and there's nothing going to happen to you, okay? And don't forget, I love you all very, very much. I do. I love you all very much, and I send you love every day. Anyone who's connected with me in any form, in any version, you all get love sent. So anyway, just so you know, I'm loving on you. All right. So tonight, happy solar eclipse, everybody. It was such a big deal. And yeah, I didn't get too much out of it. I really didn't make too much of it. So let's do a chit chat about what it really was. Okay, I wanted to name tonight symptoms and the symbols of the solar eclipse, because that's what you need to know. Okay. So I want to start because instead of the fear porn, right? And instead of all this fear porn that's been pushing out about the locations and the events and what's happening, and don't look at it and your eyes are going to melt, which I did, by the way, and I took pictures and all of it. Okay. It's all been pumped out. And so I wanted you all to look at it from another angle, which is energy, which is what we talk about on here, because truth doesn't lie. Truth is energy. And we have to look at it from the energy of symptoms and the solutions that'll help you from the symptoms you're experiencing from the energy in the universe, in the sky right now. And so I want you guys to understand that the deeper you go into spirituality, the deeper you have to dive into your soul, into yourself. Okay. And so what today was like a spiritual awakening. I know I use the word spiritual lightly because it can get a little woo-woo, and I just don't think that's what this is. I think it's an energetic shifting. And so we're going to talk about that. So when you have to dive deeper into you, you're a cell. You're a cellular energetic being. And we have to dive into how the cell and the cellular energy being of you is being affected. Okay, so how? So the solutions that today and the energy, remember there are 6 planets sitting in the sign, the constellation of Aries, where that solar eclipse, the sun and the moon, sun was here, the moon sat on top of it. We're all in today. And so the solutions that it was delivering are through seeing symbols of energy. Okay, that's what this was delivering to all of you. And the symbols are going to be different for every one of you, but it was pushing you inside of you because of the sign of Aries, rules self-confidence, self-worth. Okay. This, my friends, is a purification. That's what was happening. That's what's happening right now. Okay. And it's to see the light of a new you. Okay. The actual event is just really less important than the energy that you feel purging out old darkness and old beliefs. Okay. So remember, I'm going to give you a little history here. Remember that I brought you, reminded you, I don't even know if it was months ago, okay, that we talked about this, but we're leaving the Piscean age, the age of Pisces, and we've been there for 26,000 years, okay? And so we're ending this spiritual cycle and we're entering into a new age for another 20,000 plus years into Aquarius. And we've talked about this numerous times, okay? So a lot of people on the planet, you are entering, leaving and entering this phase. And so a lot of people are wrapping up a lot of karma and things in this lifetime, experiences. And those who don't have anything else to wrap up or complete, I call it karma completion, in their own evolution, they're leaving the earth plane, okay? They're just different planes of existence, okay? And so they're leaving the earth plane and then they're coming back to be of service and help out everybody else as angels in a sense, but they look like people. Okay. And so think of today as the earth was kind of an awakening moment when we're all looking up at the same time. And the earth is moving up in vibrational frequency from the third dimension. Remember we talked the 3D, 4D, and 5D, and then it goes 6, 7, 8, on and on. There's all these dimensions of time and space. So we're moving up in vibrational frequency from the third dimension or 3 density, the third density, okay? 3D. density, frequency, that's the plane we're on. And it's the better description of it is like a 3D, you can touch, it's dense, okay? Then we're moving through the fourth density, which is where we are all right now, which is the bridge, as I call it. So here's the fifth dimension, the bridge is your brain interpreting stuff, and then 3D is your physical body, okay? But it's still a vibrational space of being. And then we are going to eventually move into the fifth dimension of density. It's a vibration of oneness in that vibration, unconditional love. So this is a dramatic and radical and unprecedented shift in the Earth's vibration from polarity to collective Aquarian consciousness. Okay. And the fish was this or that, in or out, flip flop. Okay. Which was Pisces. Okay, so energetically, that's what's happening. Okay, so then all of those of us who are in the body right now came to us, all of you, on not just on this call, but all of you on the freaking planet, like the billions of people, okay? You all came down to Earth, right, to assist the ascension process. So the ascension process consists of basically a purification or a cleansing of our house, if you will, okay? So it's been building up gradually up to today, and it's going to keep going, and it's happening right now. And there's a lot of divine, direct from source consciousness, God consciousness is flooding the planet. And this is having a profound impact on every life form on the planet. So it's the dogs, it's the gerbils, the squirrels, the owls, the trees, the fish, everything is feeling this frequency lift. Now, animals are a little bit more ahead of us, but this is where we're going, okay? And light, so it's been all this light's coming down on us, and light has the effect of bringing to the surface everything that is not like itself, like light, that is not light. Okay, so basically everything in a lower vibration or darkness is being revealed to you. So you can recognize, so when you're shown all these things, you can recognize lower vibrational thought forms or feelings or experiences. When you see them, you're like, oh, yeah, no. Oh, before we were just like letting it be because you didn't see it. So with all this light coming in, which was an explosion today, okay, that's what's happening. So consciously, when you see things or people coming in or pushing you to a lighter space or getting you to let go of dark or old thoughts, consciously thank them in your mind for whatever they've taught you. It's as simple as, I don't want that. No, thank you. Not my gig, not my journey. So thank them for what they've taught you and then release them to the universe or release them to source. That's essentially the process of letting go of something that is lower vibration, is thank you. And you go to be with source consciousness and let God deal with it. Okay. Source, God, whatever you believe in, universe. Okay. Because for thousands and thousands, I mean, eons of universal years. Okay. These lower vibrational thought forms and feelings and emotions have mostly been subconscious, all right, hidden from your awareness. But you're driving the driving. So basically, our subconscious has been driving the behavior of the collective planet. The collective is everyone on the planet. We're all collectively putting in energy. Okay. So it's been driving the behavior because it's subconscious darkness we haven't seen. So we just let this darkness drive us. Okay. Now all the darkness is coming to the surface, and it's happening individually in every person's life. And also it's happening collectively to humanity as a whole. So it's happening to all of you individually, happening to the planet, which is why you see all the craziness in the news, in the digital, in the social, in people. Okay. None of this is new, my friends. You just see it now because the light is shining on it, period. That's how basic what's happening. So once you release it, you let it go. Once it's gone, that allows our individual vibration to raise up, fourth, fifth, sixth, wherever you want to go, and allows the earth vibration then to raise faster. And then we can become, right, complete, and we make through the full passage of this fourth dimensional density, 4D, shall I call it, And we pass through that where we're not thinking in ego, we're thinking in a higher consciousness state. And then we move into the fifth dimension, which is oneness, because the earth is rising and it can't leave us behind, right? It's going with the frequency of the universal planetary energetic grid. And so it's not going to leave us behind in the darkness. So we must all rise together. Okay. And we will get to a point, and I don't know when it is. So, we'll talk about time in a minute, but clearly I don't know when it is going to happen. I don't think anybody in the universe or I shouldn't say the universe, on the planet, the earth plane, knows exactly when it's going to happen either. But we're going to get to the point, we're going to get to that point. And so that I can understand, right, this is where you can understand where we return to a state of oneness consciousness, one consciousness in which we no longer perceive ourselves as separate beings, right? That's where where you start having psychic experiences and you're having telepathic communication and things are opening up to connect with everyone easier, in which we no longer perceive ourselves as separate beings, and that each one of us is actually omnipresent, a cell, right? What you would call a cell of God, which is in each of us, which means we're all connected to divine oneness or infinite consciousness. Okay. That's what's happening. Okay. That happened on a grand scale today. And so what happens is when you put a lot of light into your body, which is you have 6 planets in Aries, two planets in Pisces, 2 more in Taurus, and they're all jammed together like this, like a funnel, right over your heads. Everyone's over everybody's source bodies, okay? And so you were feeling it because if you have any dark spots, memories, thoughts, experience, feelings that are going on in you and you're having a hard time purging them, the light is coming into you, wanting you to heal. So you're getting symptoms of ascension. And this doesn't make sense because we want to make it a physical thing that's happening to us. And it's because your body is trying to detox. So the physical symptoms that a lot of you are feeling, I'm going to go through a quick list here because I'm having a lot of them. And I am literally having people left and right telling me what they're texting me, asking me all these questions. So the symptoms that you're probably feeling, you might have one or many: dizziness, headaches, lower back pain, neck pain, blurred vision, achy muscles, painful joints, extreme fatigue. I have that. Erratic sleep. Oh, I have that. Flu-like pain. I had 2 people reach out to me and thought they had the flu today. And I'm like, it's probably a version of the flu. Okay, because of this ascension today. It was today. Hot and cold flashes. Confusion, extreme detox sensations, detoxing allergies, feeling, to food, heightened allergies to alcohol, where it just doesn't do it for you anymore. Increased vivid dreams. That's a big one for me. Irritability, anxiety, aversion to anything out of your alignment, inability to socialize, loss of appetite, extreme appetite for grounding. When we eat, we're feeling like we got to get ourselves back to the ground. Okay, so these are symptoms that are coming up and people are thinking something's wrong with them. And I want you guys to know nothing is wrong with you. You're just lightening up, and the light has to purge this weighty, dark, heavy energy out of you. And it doesn't mean it has to be bad. It's just happening. So sit with it. Let it go. I'm going to give you some solutions in a minute, but I want you to understand your body is the 3rd dimension on this 3D plane. Your physicality, it's dense, it's touchable, okay? And it's processing all these ascension symptoms or all this light, okay? So what does the light what does it look like in terms of energy? Okay, so we talk about this 3D, 4D, 5D frequency, and we talk about like, well, we're getting to 5D as your goal, and that's your end game, and you're done. And that's not how it works. You're tapping in, you're coming back. You're tapping into 5D, then you're processing back on the mental bridge, which is your 4D, then back into body, then tapping in and getting insight, and you're waking up and seeing everything, and then you're back in. Right. And so many of you are capable of even going beyond that. You can see 6 dimensions. The dimensions are in meditation. You can see them. So in simplest terms, you guys, I've shared that this ascension of energy upgrading has been going on for like years, since like 2018, 19. Right. And so You've just been visually seeing it for the last 4 or 5 years. You're shifting with the earth, who is shifting into 5D, back and forth. Okay. So it's going to put more light. And so the earth's upgrading of light is awakening you all to your own light. And in doing so, you're seeking your power back. And so the entire earth, probably today, everyone was looking up. An entire collective looked up and said, oh my gosh, look to the source consciousness, to the light. And up until now, most generations, except some of the younger ones, have been numbed, drugged, programmed to keep your head down and not tap into your soul's gifts, which is your intuition, your own healing powers, your own healing codes, sacred gifts from your soul signature. Like I said, that sits on your own blueprint, your birth chart. It sits there, it's visual. Your ability to create a tribe, and most of all, tap into your higher self-consciousness, accessing off-world information, and then bringing it back here to use it for your highest good. We all have those talents and skills. Now, the eclipse, again, was like this big flashlight shining into the funnel, just called on the top of your head. Okay. And so the more light you have, the more light you have inside of you, the easier it is to see the darkness, right? And that's all, it's all inside of there, in that light. The light wants to show you so you can put light into things that you don't want to do, see, experience, be anymore. So seeing what you're seeing in the world is simply you seeing thousands around you that are lighting up the screen to truth, right? You don't need to do anything. But one thing, right? Look at yourself and choose to do what's best for you right now. That's it. That's all you have to do. Get to know you, learn you, understand who you are. And if you keep allowing the external, everybody go look at the solar eclipse. Oh my God, be scared. It's going to melt your eyeballs out. Oh my God, there's going to be massive problems. And then everybody started freaking out like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to look? What are you going to do? Look at it. I wanted you to all feel it. You can still today feel this energy. It's pushing you to discomfort. That's what awakening is. Uncomfortable, discomfort, 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 discomfort. It's not rainbows, unicorns, and flowers and hugs and smiling at everybody like, is this one? It's discomfort. And it's shining light on it so you don't have to have it anymore. Okay. And so when the external is telling you that this planet is the shift is a scary thing, it's going to be more upsetting than if you understand the dark things and the fear porn that are being showed to you is simply for you to say, oh, wow, I never realized that was real before, but now I can see it, or it's happening. And no, I'm not going to participate in that or sickness or sacrificing or suffering anymore. It's that simple. Oh, I see it. No, thanks. I choose light. I will work on allowing more light into my life. That's how I want you to get to, or my body, right? To look at my own soul signature. And if I'm evolving out of my own insecurities and blockages, how is this happening personally and globally, right? So stop asking. This is the big question, people, I keep hearing. Stop asking when it's going to happen. The event. Today, everybody thought it was an event, right? You're so focused on time. Okay, time is made up. It's a construct that was made up by man. And it's not when you're focused on time, you're not in the now moment of your frequency, which is all there is. So if your frequency is dark and you're like, I got to put more light into this, I got to see the gift in this, I got to see the blessing in this, I got to see what I'm grateful for of learning. What did I learn from this person, place, experience, thing, pain, whatever it is? Okay. And so this is a big deal, you guys, because if you think you're separate or you're missing something and you need to continue moving through time, I gotta hurry. I'm not gonna have enough time to get it, to find it. This is untrue. This is so untrue, right? Because being you, the most loving, high frequency, of connection to all and allowing others to do the same removes time. And each moment you have with others is abundant and it's not controlled or it's not restrictive. You just have that moment with them when you have it, or lack, as if you're missing something, right? By not being in that energy field with that person, with that place, I'm missing out. What is it called? FOMO, fear of missing out, right? This is such a big deal right now because time has been manipulated to make you believe you don't have enough to get what you want. And that's total bullshit, total and utter ridiculousness. And it is always in the now moment, always, always, always right now, that you are trying to achieve oneness and all your cells and all the things that are infinite opportunity and energy frequencies and fractals of you. So what you experience, it's something you don't like, it's darkness within you that you have to address. And you are an omnipresent image of divine consciousness. So nothing that you see or want or need isn't something that you can't address with light and love. And I mean, like, not woo-woo love, but like, how can I see this in a loving experience for yourself? So here are some of the solutions, okay, to the symptoms that you're experiencing. And again, the solar eclipse was just everyone looking up to this flashlight of light coming down into your funnel. That's what today was all about, okay? So some of the physical symptoms that if you're having any of those, anybody feel free to comment in the chat. Let me know if you're feeling some of the ones I listed. The best solution I can give you is if you're exhausted, rest. You're not losing time. Exhaustion, see me too. Rest, sleep, salt baths. If you're feeling the flu symptoms, 3 or 4 cups of Epsom salt and 3 or 4 cups of baking soda will reset your energy really quickly. Okay, so if you're feeling physically achy, get in the Epsom salt bath. Fasting, I'm on a fast right now, a long fast, right? Detoxing, and not a serious just cilantro, for goodness sake. Put cilantro in some I'm just going to call it cleansed, cleared water, whatever you're going to use. I'm not sure what your filtering system is, but a filtered water of some sort. And put some cilantro in there and blend it in the water and drink it if you don't like it, or put it in a smoothie but cilantro, it will be gentle, okay? Something to bring back the physical symptoms of exhaustion is just rest or do very little, okay? Reset your story. We talked about that last week. Just reset your story. If something is ruminating in your mind about what you don't want, write a new story about it. That is what you do want it to be, and hold that. Okay. We were discussing rewriting your story last week. So if you missed it, just go back and listen. For something that you've been playing in the past, that is, it needs to detox your thought, then rewrite it. Okay. Physical symptoms, if you can address them as, oh, I'm bringing in more light. And when I'm slowing down by one of these symptoms, it's slowing me down so my body can process the dark. The light's already in you. It's already in the cells. Going out in the sun, it brings it into your cells. So it's asking you, saying, hey, it's asking me to rest while my body adapts. Time, there's that time thing, right? Can you accept the rest and override the time thing that you're losing time and you're not getting things done and you're not on the hamster wheel? It's a big deal. That's the solution, right? If you haven't been to the DMT retreat or the DMT method, we learn how to charge our water on 10x frequency. We, push our frequencies up higher with our charged water. Listen to your body. And the moment you give it, right, an hour or 3 hours or 24 hours of rest or healing attention, you will notice that these symptoms start to decrease faster, right? I've been having a ton of headaches lately in the last 3 days since this stuff started. And I use a paper bag technique. If you put a paper bag on your mouth and you breathe for about 10-15 minutes, voila, headache gone. And so it's fascinating when we can do a lot of this stuff naturally. I breathe into the paper bag and I wait for it to go away. It typically does. Sometimes I even had to take something for it. Don't fight the body. Let the body tell you what it needs, right? And so the funny part is I have to not talk, right? I have to do nothing but just sit and breathe when I'm breathing into that bag. And it's fascinating because I have to just sit there in nothing and allow the energy to just process. That's what it's asking you, right? So anything that's slow, healing, resting, receiving, meditating, journaling is the best, highest good right now, especially during the Mercury retrograde, which is until the 25th. So does this all make sense, my friends? Are you all feeling this? Is this showing up for you? And if so, all I want you to do is go, that's it. Yeah, I know it's hard for you to wrap your brain around that very little. Someone said horrible sleep last night. So did I. And I just like, you guys, I had a dream last night. I was pregnant with twins and they were due at different due dates. And so I was like, what is happening? And it was so super real. It was crazy. I was just up all night during this eclipse energy, right? So be open to just going, all right, well, it's a thing. So those are my suggestions and my solutions, which are super simple, but most people don't want to take time for that because they think they're wasting time. And I'm calling you all out on it. Time is not a thing. Rest, and you will catch up faster if you're rested and you let your body process the light. Okay, let's talk about the planetary update matching all this. So yes, there's a solar eclipse today. It was at 19 degrees of Aries, which means the moon was at 19 degrees, sitting directly on top of the sun at 19 degrees. And it was a super moon because it's the closest to the earth. That's why you could see it so easy. Okay. And it was a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries, which, brings that's anything that's subtle. It's not subtle at all because Aries is the planet of war and aggression and intent, force. And so it's been pushing us. Okay, new moons represent new beginnings, right? Uncharted territories of self-discovery. So it's all going on now during Mercury retrograde, which is also in Aries. Okay. And Mercury retrograde's presence during a solar eclipse may leave you torn between Aries and the new moon and new beginnings. So this drive for taking action. And then Mercury's calling you out and slowing you down and pushing the pause button for introspection. Like, what do I do? Do I do this or that? My answer is just slowly rest. And when it's time, your energy will come back and you'll take action. Okay. Because Aries, you guys, is the fearless, it's like the pioneer, it's the fire starter of the zodiac. It symbolizes passion and courage, and you all need to step into courage right now. It's bringing potent new beginnings, it's forging new paths. The eclipse is going to demand you make space for fresh starts. Often it's forcing closure of chapters that no longer serve us, creating room for the new potential within yourself. And so the symbolism of this solar eclipse right now is that so much energy is in Aries. Okay, the North Node, which is a planetary, it's asking the collective to work on this thing. It's saying this is a very hard thing to learn right now, but you're going to learn it. It's also in Aries, representing humanity's awakening to self and self-worth and self-healing and self-deserving. Okay, then you got the moon, which ruled your emotions and about who we are and where we need to grow and where we need to get courage and raise our confidence in our communication. And then Mercury's asking us, considering, like, hey, consider what you think and how you communicate and about who we are instead of who others think we are. Then you got Venus sitting up there in this little party up in the sky. They're all at a party. They're all at the Aries party. And then Venus is in Aries, meaning it's asking you to love yourself, raise your value, raise your worth, create more love within your heart, about who you are and what you want, and money, that kind of value as well. So the first time the whole planet is looking up at the planets, tapping into the symbolism of Aries, Taurus, and Pisces. And Aries, when it looked up at there, that's why we were hearing about military assertion, right? It's all about war. Aries rules war and military and drive and assertion and confidence, self-worth, all at once. So you were hearing these discussions about those topics. It wasn't about them. It was about the topic and the symbolism. And so we were downloading our worth. and it showed where Aries was. If you go look at your birth chart, all know you can go on my website under tools, tap tools, and it's right there, free birth chart. iDeserveItNow.com, and go to free birth chart, and you can see where Aries, it'll show you a little description, Aries in blank house, and go see what house Aries is affecting you and see what that house represents. Okay. Then we have Mars in Pisces, and Mars rules Aries. Mars is the ruling planet of Aries, and it's sitting in Pisces. And so it's making people feel wishy-washy. Like, oh my gosh, because we're leaving Pisces and there's the wishy-washy, and Pisces is that wishy-washy, right? Unsure of who they are, but they're also about creativity. So Mars is like, let's get aggressive with our creative Pisces energy. Because so you're feeling like unsure of who you are, what to choose in the higher. Do I choose the higher realm? Do I choose this realm? The lower realm, the aggressive realm, the loving realm. It's forcing us to go back and forth to feel 3D, 4D, 5D, all back and forth again. So given that this is what we're learning to do now, because you are still in the physical body, which is third dimension, 3 dimensions of time and space. So you have 3 dimensions making you dense. Okay. And so in that 3-dimensional, still we're in that physical body, you have to adapt to understanding that cells are that they don't change. Okay. You are still in 3D form. And so you're fighting to bring down the light into your physical body. And the light is breaking open the mindset, the beliefs, all the systems in your brain that are old dark programming into light programming, so you can pass back and forth and tap into higher consciousness, love consciousness, divine consciousness, and start living the life you love without feeling guilt and shame and anger and resentment. But it won't happen unless you're being forced to let light in. So the universe is doing it for you. Okay. So think of it that way, as solar eclipse is a new beginning. Okay. And because it's in Aries, go look at your chart and see where it is. New beginnings are going to come out of the blue for you. So instead, from this point forward, focus on self and freedom and going solo in a way of, what is it makes me happy? It's about your inner authority and courage and sovereignty. And it can also encourage us to break a new ground and go into a new adventure, especially because it's going to be reinforced next week. I'm pretty sure next week is the 20th, right? Jupiter and Uranus, I'll talk about it next week again, are sitting on top of each other next week, which is very much about risk taking and breaking loose and doing something different with freedom and expansion. Okay. I know that was a lot. Okay. But I wanted you guys to understand that this is so symbolic, you can't even make this up. And it's all about light. No monsters are coming to get you. No, nothing's going to hurt you. We're going to so much of a better place, but it doesn't feel good because you're having to let go of density and hard things and programming and belief systems that, when they're so ingrained like a record, it's hard to let go of that if you think that's all you know. And it means, oh, what am I ruminating on? A body pain, a mental belief, an experience that I can't let go of? Think about what you're repeating in your mind. That's what it is. That's what needs a new story. And that's what needs light. Okay, everybody tap in here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. One more time. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. We're tapping into the thymus, into your nervous system, into your healing center, to awaken all the cells in your body, to remind it, I do have courage to choose me. Okay. So I'm going to open this up for you. Anybody want to share what peace looks like for you? Because we get so caught on the symptoms and we're forgetting about the solutions, and it's okay to feel what you're feeling and not think that you're dying, because you're not dying. You're not dying. Nothing is happening to you. This is opening you up so you can see that it's okay to feel good. A lot of people are struggling because they don't know what it's like to feel good, to let everybody around them be happy and not be angry about things that aren't truly affecting you at all. You're just letting them because you think that's a pattern that you didn't even realize. I'm not letting that go. That's not me. It is you. It's always us. Okay. So here, okay, so someone actually says as I was talking, can the eclipse hurt you? No, 1000%, 10,000% no. It's just symbolism for a lot of light. You know, Aries is a fire sign, so it's almost like it set the sky on fire. It's kind of what the eclipse looked like if you could look at it. Looked like fire around the moon. It was the birthing of freedom, right? And so you can see it was like lighting us up so we can see what you avoid or ignore, but it won't just disappear if you ignore it. It's going to come back to you. Okay? Okay. Any more questions, you guys, on you can ask anything you want in these truth tribes. Like if something's coming up for you, please throw it into the question and ask. I will give you some clarity on it. Let's see. Why are we so focused on it? Energetically, all right, it means, so the reason energetically we had everyone pushing up to this energy, right, was because energetically this whole experience today for a week, right, probably this moon energy will last for months to come, but you'll feel it for the next several days. It means personally breaking free from your patterns, right? And so when a collective focused on it, it amped us, the whole planet, up to shift to freedom. That's where we're going. And so if you don't want to see that, you're like, well, we don't have freedom. We do. But we have to think of self-freedom first before you can think of looking at other people and what they don't have. I want you to look at what you have or what you need to have, what you need to fill in so you can have it within whatever that freedom is, in a relationship, with money, with your children, with your body, with your spouse, with your career. What is it that you need to do, have, see, experience to have freedom? And that Aries energy is going to be sitting somewhere in your birth chart, in your soul blueprint, and show you where. All right. All right. Let's see. This says, what's the best way to move forward? All right, you guys, this is actually kind of funny. What's the best way to move forward? You ready? It's super simple. Go inside and find courage to fill your soul to the things that make you free. That's it. If you just want to go, lay in bed and not get out of bed one whole day and read books, that's what I would do, right? Go do that. If you want to just go on a long drive, you don't really have anywhere to go, but you just want to drive, go do that. If you want to sit and binge watch comedy shows to make you laugh right now, go do that. If you want to go focus on some natural healing and sit on YouTube and find everything that will fix the achy joints in your body, go do that. Whatever it is. Someone says, is the Jupiter-Uranus risk-taking okay during Mercury retrograde? Should we take a risk if it comes to us? Yes, because it's not a risk. It's just asking you to take a step forward in that direction. So that's actually a really good question. It's actually not risk-taking. It's actually blasting open an opening almost in your awareness. You can go, oh, now here's the thing. Jupiter also is the planet of good luck and expansion. So it's giving you expansion to be in a freedom motion. But it also says don't expand it so much where it's going to be negative. So that would be the negativity and where you might put risk on it. You're taking a risk if you're going so far in, so big, instead of just, sorry about that, guys. Instead of taking a baby step in that direction. So yes, I agree with you, but it says don't take a risk, just take a step and keep moving that direction. And it will break open bigger and bigger, even if it's just in a week. So does that make sense? Does that help you? I don't think it's like moving to a different direction is taking a risk if it comes to you. I think it's, are you breaking open, right? Like, can you move that direction without doing it all in? Let's see. Does that make sense? We're trying to go somewhere and we need to just open it up to what is easiest. Take the first step, then take another step and move that direction. And it'll keep breaking you open more and more till it's like super easy. And then you just flow in like a river. All right. We all have this planetary energy sending conflicting messages. act, slow down, aggression. Yet how are you communicating? Will you repeat your suggestion on this, please? Okay, so it's basically you're feeling like I have to act and say something. And then you're like, no, 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 slow down. And my answer is write down what you want to say to someone first, always, if you're going to communicate during Mercury retrograde. And write down, is it loving and is it I based? I feel this. I understand this, or this is how I am interpreting this. Is this true? And then let them decide. But going after someone in this aggression, that's what Aries is trying to do. It's saying start a new path of communicating more I and loving instead of I'm going to kick your ass, get the hell out of here. Right? So you're wrong. This isn't okay with me. And so we go after people like, think about the ram. That's what Aries represents, a ram, right? And so a ram has ram horns and they will buck you. And what happens is a ram will hit you hard, but then the ram energy backs up 2 steps if it pushed you 3. So you're still moving forward, you just back up a little bit and assess it. Was it wanted? So start with am I open to communicating about me in a loving way, or this is how I feel, or this is what I'm understanding. Am I wrong? Right? All right. I love tonight's Truth Tribe. I will be going back to rewatch for sure. There was so much good stuff tonight. Oh, yay. Love you too. And yes, go back and watch last week, you guys, if you missed it, because it was all about rewriting your script for ruminating thoughts. And that's why I was preparing you guys for this. And this is an Aries who said that. If you're an Aries, okay, so it's called the cardinal points, right? So if you're an Aries, Libra, Leo, or Aquarius, you're just going to feel it more intensely because Aries is pushing a square energy into each of those signs. So they just are feeling it a little bit more because those are the air and fire signs, right? And so that's where it is. Okay. Let's see. Someone says, I'm using this energy to wean myself off these sleep pills. Oh, yay, that makes me so happy. And that I've been addicted to for the last 13 years. Wish me luck. It took me till 4 a.m. to let my mind rest enough to sleep. Okay. So I encourage everybody, if you've used them for a long time, do them very slowly. Wean yourself off and add something else to it. Now, Pat, if you'll reach out to me privately, I'll let you know what I use, but there's the Bach remedies. If you have sprouts where you are, I would go look for, I use a lot of the Bach remedies to help me sleep. They help me a ton for sleeping. The other thing is actually, you could use, I'm not going to say it online. I can give you a couple other things because I don't want to get I don't want to get dinged if this is, if it gets transcribed on my YouTube. But I have a couple other things that you can use, but I would use the Bach remedies. They help a ton for rest. The other thing, Pat, is castor oil. So castor oil actually will help you detox while you're trying to wean yourself off of those. So castor oil rubbing a little bit on your liver, which is your right side, right under your rib cage, kind of right over your right rib cage. That's where your liver sits. That'll help you detox a little bit of what you've been putting in, and it'll help you. It's when I've had the best sleep. It's a little goopy, but if you have a t-shirt on that you don't care about, then that'll help too. So those would be my 2 first. And then if you need an addition to that, so Bach Remedies has a ton of sleep remedies that are natural. I don't do well with melatonin, so they don't have those in them. So those of you who are having a hard time sleeping, Bach Remedies, you can get them online as well. There's several of them. Anyone else have suggestions for Pat that are natural that I'm not using? There's another thing I use, but I'm not going to say it. Oh, Sleepy Time Tea. So if it were me, Pat, I would use Bach Remedy, Sleepy Time Tea, and castor oil, and just start slowly weaning yourself off the pills and watch what happens. You'll slowly wean and you'll faster go in if you combo everything at once. Hope that helps. If that's if you haven't tried anything natural, there's so many things out there that actually will enhance you to get into that, but it may take you a little while. Here's my point that I tell everybody. I don't take any sleeping pills and I've never slept well. When I get tired enough, my body takes over. Pat, just please reach out to me privately if you want, or in a DM private message, and I'll shoot you over all the items that They're actually very natural and you can't tell, but they help a ton. Okay. All right. So, anything else? If you missed any of the call, go back and re-listen. I'll have it back up in about an hour, the replay, and you can listen to the eclipse, all the information and the symptoms that you're all feeling. Like I said, my headache is kind of like finally starting to subside a little bit. And it just depends on where you're at energetically and opening up to. So you could have one or all of those symptoms. All right. So you guys remember that if you're on this call and you are not in the Truth Tribe Facebook group, please go add yourself there because I'll keep adding stuff as we go along. Remember, if you're struggling to know who you are right now, and I know that's hard for people, some of you've already done it, go pull up your iPods and your sonar charts and just read them. If you haven't done your sonar and your your iPod, go onto my website under courses and take the IDI Academy. You'll literally understand like why you're here, why you're struggling, right? And how to walk out the door, right? And how to like understand how you walk yourself into the world and how to shift that. Start there, right? And that's when people ask me like, what do I do first? Then when you're like, well, I want more, you want to upgrade, go to the Warrior Pass for other courses. If you don't want those and you're like, hey, I have a good understanding, you guys know the next deep dive is the DMT method retreat. It's going to be in Denver. It's June 1. You will get on now so you don't lose your spot. It will fill up. My marketing agent is going to be pushing it out as of next week. And so it will fill up if you don't sign up before and grab your spot. It's right on my website, ideserveitnow.com or idinow.com. If you're listening to this after the live session on YouTube or Spotify, the links will always be in the notes below. You guys, as always, find me if you have any questions ever. I will see you all next week. I love you all. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Brightest blessings. You guys have a good night, and I will see you soon. Take care.